Hey, everybody. Just turning the ring down on my phone. Um, like almost every time I'm making a live video, I end up getting randomly. So hopefully that doesn't happen if I turn my sound down. So I'm just gonna quickly go across and show you a little bit of what we have laid out before us. But so I don't know how many of you have seen my original review of our curriculum, the Modern Charlotte Mason curriculum. I had posted a review when we first ordered the curriculum, and I barely knew anything about it. I had just been researching it. I ordered it, I looked through it, and I was excited to start the school year with that curriculum. But now we've been using it for a while, and I feel a lot more comfortable than I even did when I made my original review. So I wanted to kind of go over our thoughts on that. And see me. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kayla. Hey, Jody. I'm Kayla, and I am a homeschool mama that we call ourselves the Oval Academy, and we homeschool at Adventure Schooling. You can check out our Facebook page at Adventure Schooling on Facebook. The picture is blurry, lovely. Yeah, my phone's being weird. I apologize. It could be my signal too. Hopefully it clears up. But so you can follow our homeschool adventures at Adventure Schooling on Facebook, and in the description I put like my blog and other things, and the links also to the Modern Charlotte Mason website and to these new really cute, amazing, fun schooling journals that I just found. And then to flip back around and we'll jump right in. As always, if you have any questions at the post to this video, and I'll be sure to check it out and answer any questions you have. So we love our curriculum. We'll start here and then we'll get into these amazing journals. I'm in love with them. If you're jumping on and you want to say hey in the comments so I know you're on, that's great. I'm new with doing live videos in YouTube. I've done several live videos on Facebook, but I'm getting used to YouTube still. So also, I do not have a tripod yet I'm in, so if my camera is a little shaky, I apologize, that's why, but hopefully we'll be able to remedy that pretty quickly. So the curriculum is a Modern Charlotte Mason. You order a bundle. It comes with 5 books in the bundle. You order one bundle a year until you have all like 5 or 6 bundles of, and the bundles follow like a history time period basically. And this is a Modern Charlotte Mason's early American, early modern with an American focus. So this is the bundle that I ordered, and it's $100 a bundle. If you get the print version, you can also get the ebook version. Miss Susan is amazing. If you get the print version, she'll also you can request through email, and she can send you the ebook version too, which is kind of nice to have on your phone if you're on the go or something like that. But I personally love having like print books in front of me. I feel like it helps me when I have something in my hands. I love it. And so, but what I love about these is these contain your assignments and your work for 1st through 12th grade for all your kids, which is amazing. You get the 5 books in each bundle, like I was saying, and you'll rotate through the time periods of history through the bundles. Kind of every year you'll do a new time period of history, and then you just continue to rotate through the time periods of history in the way that she rotates it with a Modern Charlotte Mason. It's divided up by forms rather than grades, which is always good to know. There's always a ton of information in the front. This is the morning meeting, which covers things like prayer and thankfulness, journaling a little bit, hymn singing, hymn study, Bible reading, memorizing verses and reciting verses, things like that. So this is the beginning. What we start out our day with is our morning meeting. There's a food for the mind, which is your daily. It's broken up by day. And as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit, it has the different forms. So form 1A is like your 1st graders. And then each form is like 1 or 2 grades. Form 2, actually, I believe in the beginning of maybe this classical studies book, all my notes and stuff are in the way. There's also a list of like online resources. I'm not sure if it's in this one. I always forget which one it's in. But yeah, and in the beginning she has of this classical studies is kind of like for the higher grades, like Plutarch and what is that language? Wow. I can't remember. I'm not doing this book much because my kids are so little. But this is like Plutarch and what's the I'm sorry, one second. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with this book because my girls are younger, so we're not doing cannot think of the word I'm trying to say right now. Latin. Like we're not learning those things right now and stuff. That's for the older grades, but I do have it. Like she still sends it with the bundle so that I do have access to that stuff. Because also this book is like miscellaneous things. Like you have your book lists for the different books that you need to get to go along with the curriculum. Like this is for Olivia for the 1A, and I apologize. Like I've literally written all over and highlighted and but you know it sort of works for me, and I'm not going to resell it because like I said, we're going to be using these books over and over again. This is the books you would need for Form 1, Form 2, and then the neat thing is he even has lists in here for combining. Like if you had a first grader, a Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3, which is like your first grader, you're like elementary school, middle school, and like ninth and 10th grader or something. It shows you how to combine so you're not having to buy so many books for each grade. So that's pretty neat. So this is a neat little book. It's got tons of information in it. That one comes along with it. And I refer to this often. There's tons of notes on how to use the curriculum and tips and tricks and stuff. So this is a great book. That comes in your bundle. Maybe it must be in the front of this one. And again, this is how to use the daily, this is like your food for the mind is like your more academic subjects, and it schedules time for math. Let me find a page I didn't write all over. So this is an individual day. You have your it says do your assignments for morning meeting, and that would be with your entire family, like your Bible, your all the things that you do to start out your day. Think of like a circle time, but very, very Bible based. If you were a secular family, you didn't want the Christian things in your homeschool, then you could just omit that and not do it. It would still come in your bundle, as far as I know, but you could just do your own thing for morning meeting. Then there's time for reading lessons and reading practice with your younger kiddos, and then the older kids would doing something else at that time. And then it's broken down by week and by day. And then every day you have all the assignments for your first grade through 12th grade listed. So your first graders would be reading Courage of Sarah Noble, and that tells you the links that are in the Pinterest board. And then maybe you had a high schooler that's reading The Last of the Mohicans, chapter 18. So it's amazing because everything you need is written on these pages for first through 12th grade, and the books are reusable over and over. So 100 a year to use all the assignments for your entire family over and then use it over and over again throughout the years. Like we're using this now for Olivia. She's technically our 108A, and Ginny just kind of is like a free kindergarten, and she just kind of follows along. She loves to hear the stories and do some of the drawn narration and things like that. But later when like, let's say Olivia's in Form 2, if we go back through this, and I'm not sure that's exactly what it will be in the rotation, but let's say Olivia's a Form 2 and Ginny is a Form 1, and then I have Lulu starting as a Form 1A. I just look and I have everybody's assignments listed right there, and then their history assignments and their handwriting type assignments and their little poem that we can read with everybody just for fun. This is a like read aloud time, Spanish time. So the entire family's assignments are listed really, really clear and easy for you to just kind of check off as you go, which is amazing. I love it. So that you get your morning meeting, food for the mind, your classical studies for the Plutarch and the Latin for the older kids, and also just tons of extra information. And then you get a tea time, and there are several of these. It'll vary by which composer you're studying, which like again, Lulu likes to randomly write in my book sometimes, but in tea time, it's typically like supposed to be during a snack time, or you could even do it over lunch if you wanted to. But we choose to do it for our family as a way to kind of like slow. Olivia, if she watches a movie after dinner before bed, she gets like too hyper to fall asleep, kind of. So we've been switching to doing tea time at that time. So they have their dessert, and then we do something like, for example, on this day, um, and while you prepare for tea time, choose a piece of Handel music, and there's some on the Pinterest board that Modern Charlotte Mason has that has all the links where you can find the Handel music for free on YouTube and things like that. It's very organized. Even though everything may not be linked in the book, there are some links in the beginning of the book, but I just prefer to go straight to the Pinterest board and get what I need from there. And then we would read some poetry. We're using the Poetry for the Young People by Robert Frost, and it tells you which poems to read, and then reciting one old poem that they've already memorized and one new that they're working on, and then maybe sing a foreign language song. Composer study, practice listening actively to the composer, choose one piece by Handel, and discuss the students' thoughts afterwards. And then an art project related to Matisse that we would be studying. He's the artist that we'd be studying. Folk songs, and so it's a variety of things: artists, picture study, composer study, and it rotates. And over here, like there's handicrafts that you're working on, Shakespeare, so it kind of rotates through. And the way we do it is we have this little orange bag over here that I keep all of our books and materials that go along with our tea time. So when it's tea time, I just grab the tea time bag, and we'll do the assignments for the day. And like we have like our Shakespeare book and our poem books, and this is some stories by Tome de Paulo that we're reading that we have in there, just different things. A book about folk songs, different things like that. So I am doing it like that. You could use a basket system. I do sometimes when I have extra space, but I don't always feel like having a bunch of baskets sitting around. Our house isn't that big, so I've kind of switched to bags. So this is our morning meeting bag in here. And so our morning meeting goes in there. No, Lulu, not right now. Go ahead and play, baby. My Lulu's trying to get in while I'm making videos. She always does that. So that's what the Modern Charlotte Mason is kind of like. The shared wonders, the nature study, and the science. This is etymology, the study of bugs. She also has like birds and weather. But anyway, so the reason I kind of found these journals was because I was looking for some way to get more organized with recording our like our nature journaling. And so before we were just using, I don't think they brought the backpack for nature study. We were just using like a regular little notebook to do their nature journaling in. And like it's about like nature walks, and then spend 20 or 30 minutes working on your nature journal. So a lot of what we were doing was already nature journaling, and journaling in general, because I was ending up with a bunch of like notebooks full of loose leaf paper that I was using to record their assignments in, or their drawn narration from our read alouds, or their math work and stuff like that. So when I was researching, trying to find journals that we could use to kind of keep a little bit more organized, better track of our assignments, instead of doing like instead of just doing the loose leaf paper in a notebook, it worked, but it was kind of, more boring. They're just writing on plain paper. And also I was, at the end of the day, having a stack of papers to file into their notebooks. And so I wanted something that was a little more pretty. We don't have a lot of requirements as far as homeschool laws here in Louisiana. But I still personally like to keep like a portfolio or a journal of some kind with work samples over the year, so that if I needed to show somebody, or just for my own personal records, I would have like a nice way of organizing their written assignments and their narration and their art, nature study, and all those things. So I found these journals, and I was so excited. And the reason I found them was because Miss Sarah Brown, the one that is the author. She's a homeschool mama of 10. She's amazing. She's awesome. She actually illustrated pretty much all of the pictures in this. Either her or her children illustrated the journals. She had sent me the Seaside Journal, the Nature Study and Outdoor Science Journal, and then the 12 Months in the Forest, to kind of like share with all my homeschool friends and show people at our church and the co-op and things. And also I told her I was going to make YouTube videos and things about them. I actually do have a video up as a review of just this particular journal, the 12 Months in the Forest. But I'm going to be making an individual video for each and every one of these, with like very, very specific page by page by page. You see everything inside, but for free to kind of review and to share with people. And so that was like what kind of got us so excited and gave me an appetite for these journals. Like they're amazing. And so I decided we would use this one for Olivia. And so when we go outside for nature time, instead of her just using the little notebook, it was just a plain paper notebook that she just drew in. And we still use that sometimes, but now she has this beautifully colored illustrated journal to work in. And so, and like I said, the links are in the description. I also wrote them here. There's the link for Modern Charlotte Mason if you're interested in learning more about the curriculum we're using. My blog at mybeautifulorganizedchaos.weebly.com. The Thinking Tree. She also has a series of dyslexia games and logic type games that help with kids that are dyslexic and other things. And those sound amazing. We only have these journals, but we haven't actually gotten to experience the dyslexia games. Olivia has shown us a few little signs of dyslexia. And so I'm really excited. I'm probably going to be ordering the beginning level, the level A of the dyslexia games for Olivia to work through here, like little by little over the next couple of years. And in addition to our journals. But anyway, so there's some of the links if you wanted to screenshot it or something, but also, like I said, they're all linked in the description as well. I am not an affiliate for any of these, although on my blog, there are some Amazon affiliate links for some stuff. And if you're not familiar with Amazon affiliate links, it just means that if you guys choose to use any of our affiliate links, to make your purchases of some of these journals or some of the other things that I have linked, some read aloud books and things like that in my blog posts, then my family would just receive a small amount of pay off of those, basically for recommending those products to you all through my blog. So, but none of the links in this video are Amazon links. So they're just, sharing the websites because I think these books are amazing. My family's loving them. Our Modern Charlotte Mason is the best. We're so obsessed with it. So I just wanted to tell you all about it and kind of go over how we're doing our curriculum and then how we're using it with these journals. So when we go outside, we just bring these journals. There's journals on all sorts of topics. The nature and science ones that we got, Ginny's really been into the ocean and seaside and shells and rocks and things like that. So when I received this one, I thought this would be perfect for Ginny to start journaling in. So Ginny's using this one, Olivia's using this one, and I'm actually using this one for myself. One of the big things about Charlotte Mason and about these journals is that they both agree. Sarah says that we should be modeling journaling in front of our children so that they can see us journaling and they get more involved in wanting to do it themselves. And that goes along with Charlotte Mason and her home education and some of her other books. And also Miss Susan feels the same way, is that mother culture is so important. If we as moms are learning and we're being lifelong learners and we're growing every day and we're journaling our Bible study work and we're in things that we're learning, reading books, and we're doing journaling about it, it's taking time for ourselves and building up our it's building us up as people. And then we're able to have more to give to other people. If we're constantly giving to our children, giving to our husbands, giving in ministry and in churches and whatever we're doing, but we're not filling ourselves back up, then we're going to run out of stuff to give to other people. So this is my journal. I already did a review on this one, but I it's made for kids, but it works for adults too. I drew the covers of the books that I'm currently reading, and that's kind of how these journals are set up. Is there's a page in the beginning, even the core, like the multi-subject journals, which I'll show you soon. They have a page in the front where the children or me, and for example here, can choose books that they're reading and draw the cover. And then there's lists for additional books that you come up that you want to read throughout the year, or YouTube videos or documentaries or things that you're using to learn about the topics that you're interested in or that the child's interested in. And so the way I do it, and I'll talk more about it later, is like in Olivia's core journal, which is the multi-subject journal. This is my first fun schooling journal for princesses and ballerinas. And in the beginning, Olivia told me things Oh, and I guess I'll show you. That shows the different things that you could put in this journal. You can use it more like a unit study thing, but we're using it in addition to our curriculum. So it's less like a unit study and more like just recording what we're doing in our normal days. She's supposed to draw topics of things that she's interested in learning about. And she put like poppers, penguins, koala bears, and tornadoes was things that Olivia wants to learn more about this year, which I'm totally all about kids exploring areas of interest as well as learning their academic stuff. So, like Bambi is a suggested book for a modern Charlotte Mason. This is a Usborne alphabet book that she's using to strengthen her skills as far as learning alphabet sounds and putting letters together to make words. So that's one. Frog and Toad and Little Bear are early readers that are suggested by a modern Charlotte Mason and basically by any other like Read Aloud Revival, any other ones that give picture book or kid book suggestions always suggest the Frog and Toad and the Little Bear series as good early readers for children. So these are two that she's working on reading out of. So she did her little frog and toad picture there. And then Winnie the Pooh is one of her read alouds that we're doing with our modern Charlotte Mason curriculum, the Food for the Mind. So for these ones, we mostly used books that were involved in her curriculum, but it's ones that she's really interested in that she's going to put in here as journaling work. And then this is just one that she randomly picked as she was working on letters. There's tons of cute little drawings that they can color throughout. There's like a daily to-do list at the beginning. She can color the picture if she wants to. She can circle or color in how she's feeling that day, which is really nice, especially for Ginny, because Ginny is very, very emotional. And sometimes she doesn't have the words to describe how she's feeling correctly, and it turns into like meltdowns and crying and frustration. So having these little blocks of being able to tell, how she's feeling at that moment has been really helpful, especially for Ginny. Olivia likes it too, but Ginny especially will fill in, right now I'm feeling sad. And then later on, she'll be like, oh, now I'm feeling happy. So she'll flip back from whatever she's working on and change it to happy. And it's a way to track her feelings throughout the day and then be able to talk about it and talk about, things to make her feel better. These are some of the dyslexia game, like the logic type puzzles where they do patterning, or they make this picture look like that picture, things like that. So those are included, and Olivia's been loving those. These are for coloring and tracing. And then this is an example of how we use it with our curriculum. We've been reading Winnie the Pooh, and here, instead of putting on just a plain paper, her drawings, we use this beautifully kind of created illustrated journal page. And we were reading chapter 5 there, and she drew Piglet and Winnie the Pooh and the Heffalumps, because it was a story where Piglet met the Heffalump. This is the pit that they dug, and there's a honey jar down there, and they're standing up there waiting to see if they can catch a Heffalump. And then we ended up doing on a different day, we did the drawn narration while I was reading, and then later we did okay, tell me in your own words what happened in the story. And I copied it for her since it's a lot. And she was able to tell me everything that she remembered from that chapter. So we use these journals as a way to kind of keep track of our journaling about like our narration or our drawn narration. So it's pretty neat. And then we use the nature journals for our regular nature journaling outside, which is really amazing. I'm not going to show you every single page, but this was copy work, or you could use the lines to do your own copy work of the copy. These are little things for her to color, and she loves to color. She's very artistic. So we turned this into her math for the day, because in the modern Charlotte Mason, it doesn't give you an actual math curriculum, although there are some suggested math living books that you can use as like supplemental, but not as a math curriculum. We're using Mequon Math. See if the book is here next to me somewhere. I don't know. Oh, yeah. We've been using Mequon Math with Olivia. It's one of the ones that Miss Susan does suggest. She's got tons of suggestions depending on how your child is and how they learn. Charlotte Mason talked about learning using sticks and pebbles and buttons and counting them up, and using like a hands-on approach to math in a lot of ways. And so with Mequon, we're able to do that. and she, counts things out and then does the problems that way. So we've been using Equan Math, and there's also math pages in here, like actual math pages, which is nice to record some of her math problems. But this day we decided she wanted to color and color and color, and she did very detailed, like rainbow dress, she called it. And so we turned this into math. Okay, how much is 2 dresses plus 4 dresses? And then how many would be left over? Like, so we turned it into our math, and then we recorded up here the problems that we did together. So that was pretty cool. Just turning that art into a math. This is a YouTube video that she watched on creation one morning during Bible time. And she said God made the birds, and she did some, copy work there. And she's rated the movie, she said, or that the YouTube video was great, and she really loved it. So she colored in the happy emoji, and then she drew her own bird that God created. So things like that are awesome. This is another day we did like some Mequon math, but we just recorded it in here, and she was using the little working with the manipulatives, and then she recorded. She does have some tendencies to like flip her numbers and letters around, so I kind of showed her the correct way to do it, but that's just kind of something we're noticing. So I'm excited to try the dyslexia games from the dyslexiagames.com books to see how she does with those and if they help improve it at all. It's only sometimes though, so I'm not sure if she's like actually dyslexic or it's more a mild form of it or something. And then it just goes on like that. This was one day she just did she drew a stick when she was outside in the yard, and she has to finish. She wants to color it in and do more details. Here she just traced out the princess. This was her Bible when she was learning the story about the Tower of Babel and the person and how the languages were confused. And so she did some copy work, although it wasn't as nice and neat that day as it has been. And that's her Tower of Babel. So we're just using these journals as a way to record like our assignments rather than doing it on loose leaf paper. And though we still do some on paper, we're loving being able to have this as like work samples. So a few times a week at least, we just make sure we record something math related, something copywork related, something nature related in this journal, so that we have at the end of the year a record of her progress in copywork and narration and math and all the things. That's just the way we're using them. Although some people use this as a full-time curriculum and they just use library books and go from there. And we kind of are doing that as well, but we do have like the curriculum as a guide, the Modern Charlotte Mason, with good living book suggestions and things like that. So that's kind of how we're combining the two, and it's working really, really well. So the nature journaling is just like any nature journal, only there's like pages to do your own thing. There's little things. It's blurry again. It keeps getting blurry randomly. I think it's because my phone was going to die and I plugged it in, but we'll see if it clears itself up here in a minute. I need to get a better camera for recording on YouTube in general, or just recording in general. But so for the Seaside Journal, this is the one Jenny's using, and we just kind of take it outside with us. That is so blurry. Okay, there we go. I don't know why my phone does that randomly. I apologize. So we just take these out, and during our nature journaling time outside, like Jenny picked and chose some. Well, we're doing the nature study. It's the study of bugs. So we have a bunch of books that came suggested. So in their nature journals, this one is Jenny's, this one's Olivia's. I just made them use a few of the books that we're using with our curriculum, and they drew them on here, the different books. And then there were a few extras that were like just related birds, baby birds and how they grow, rainforest animals, Osborne Encyclopedia of Animals, just different things, sharks that she was interested that aren't related to our bugs. And then all the books that are related to our shared wonder study, they're listed here as well, because we journal from all of those books and stuff. And then there's just pages in here, draw something from nature. And then this is a tornado she drew, I guess from a a top up above view or something like that. There's little things about looking up animals that are in your area, so it's pretty neat. Um, just having these little journal pages, and they can do their own thing. Obviously, these are like the same as the ones in their core journals, but they pick one of their books and either draw a picture or write the name of the book that they use that day. We write the date down, and then they tell me the narration of what they've read, or they do drawn narration depending on what our book says, if it's, do drawn narration or written narration. But it's just, we use these as a way to explore our nature. Lulu colored in Olivia's book, and Olivia was very upset about it. It's just awesome. And then this is like every month they could draw a nature picture, something they found in nature, go outside and draw one insect in each box. So after she's practiced drawing a few of the insects and gets them how she wants it, then she can start putting like ants and butterflies and the different ones that we've been working on learning about in the box. And it's got things like this in there, which are nice to explore since we are learning about bugs. Just plenty of blank journaling pages for her to do her own thing with. So we love these journals. They're really, really affordable. It's just amazing. And how well it goes with our curriculum that we're already using, the Modern Charlotte Mason, and we're just so excited about it. And then this is one is Ginny's. We were doing the before 5 in a row books with Ginny as just like we read the book and then we do activities related to it, more like for her preschool year last year. And she got really into the ocean and animals in the ocean and seashells and rocks, and so she's been loving this journal. I'll flip through it a little bit. But again, I'm going to do a detailed review on each of these journals. But this is just the way we're using it as a place to record what we're doing with our curriculum. And then I'm using this one for myself. And in here I put different books that I've been reading. And then I go through, and this one's neat because it's got each month of the year. It's divided by month, and there's a few pages for each month. This is technically a journal that could be used by students, but I'm using it as a mom because I wanted a nature journal to do nature journaling while I'm out there with the girls. So this is just the one I'm using for that. It's great. And then we have our actual core journals. And these are kind of like I said, multi-subject journals that have pages for each thing. This is blurry again. Like this one includes reading, handwriting, creative writing, spelling, classical music, math, science, art, history, library skills, and logic games. Really hope the blurriness goes away. But yeah, so Olivia's been using this one, the Fun Schooling Princess Ballerina journal, to record a good sampling of the kinds of work she's been doing throughout the year. This one is Ginny's Preschool, Kindergarten, and First Grade My Fun Schooling Journal. Ginny's been loving her journal because she only has one book so far and she didn't want to draw it. And because she's easing her way into school, I just wrote it for her. The only reason I even have a journal for Ginny and Lulu is because they just like to tag along, even though Olivia is technically the only one officially in school with the Charlotte Mason Curriculum 1A. They still are interested in drawing and coloring and learning letters and shapes and different things like that. So these are Jeannie's favorite thing in the journal so far, what will happen next in the story. And so it's a drawn picture illustrating something, and then she draws what she thinks happens next. Like the girl was sitting on the roof with her cat. She fell off the roof and the cat was really sad, and then they took her to the hospital, but then she got all better and she was better again. So this is just kind of Ginny's, what she thought happened in the logic puzzles that you just kind of complete the picture. Ginny's really liking those too. This was her reading time from our Winnie the Pooh read aloud. That is part of our curriculum. We were reading the Winnie the Pooh book out loud, and then during the read aloud time, she drew a picture herself of Winnie the Pooh, Rabbit, Piglet, all that kind of stuff. It also has nature study pages in it, just like Olivia's journal does. And so she was inspired by this little book, so she did her own clouds. And then later that day, when we were outside, she made a tree, she made a flower, she made her family. So um, sometimes we'll take out the nature study journals, and basically every time we go out, we take out the nature study journals. Sometimes, though, she'll want to take this journal outside because it has a few nature study pages in it. And she'll do that, or she just may want to color a picture outside because there's these beautiful, like, think adult coloring book style pictures throughout. And we use like gel pens in our journal because they work really with the smaller detailed pictures. Smaller detailed coloring pictures, I believe, are good for kids because they have to focus so much more on it. We also use these pens as well. We really like these ones. They're just the fine point, almost like a Sharpie, but not exactly. I don't remember what they're called. I got them on Amazon. Um, but yeah, and then there's things like draw anything you want, do some spelling words, but we use sometimes here's more books that you can explore so she can draw more books when she gets to it. Is another story that will happen, or what will happen next. Draw the rest of the story. She's like loving those. Like I said, this picture she spent about 2.5 days so far working on, just trying to stay in the lines and coloring it so detailed during school time. She also likes to color just when we're outside in nature, not even doing nature study, but just she'll sit on a blanket and color outside often. Another like logic game. She asked me to help her to write down here because she had drawn a picture, but she didn't feel like to have for dessert that day. She watched a magic school bus about the Arctic, and she drew the kids, and somebody got their arm hurt in that show, I guess. So we try to watch educational videos on Netflix and things, or like educational YouTube things. If they're gonna watch movies, we try to do that. Although they do watch some just for fun movies. But I like that these journals also have a place to record. If you saw a school related video, you can draw pictures of it, you can like write a narration about it, that kind of stuff. And then these are the emotion pages. They're so good for Ginny. And I like that her journal has like the feeling, and then later she'll come back and do it again. And this has the question down here at the bottom. And it says, talk about 3 things that might help you to feel better. And that is a huge, huge helpful thing for Ginny. With just being highly emotional, is to be able to identify what her emotion, what her feeling is, and then talk about ways to make herself feel better if she's not having a good day. And then down here at the bottom, we wrote, I'm feeling angry because Lulu broke my toy squishy fish. I also feel silly today. So it's just a really good way to start a conversation between me and her of how she's feeling, and how it's better to talk about your feelings instead of just crying or having a little breakdown. It's much better to like explain how you're feeling and how can I help you. And so this has been so good for Ginny. And then here's a little math page that she did where I kind of just drew it in, and then she counted the different squares and she matched it. She likes to do swirly lines when she's doing matching, but she matched the blocks after she counted it over to the number, and there's a dot next to it. So she still doesn't recognize all the numbers, like what they are. I put the dots next to it so she can be like, oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 3. And then she can kind of go over here and find the one that has 3 and match it. So, and then she did trace all these numbers that you probably can't really see, but so, and then here's another nature study day when she took this journal outside and did some flowers and stuff. This was when she watched that creation YouTube clip that Olivia also watched during morning meeting one day. And then she did very detailed the sun, moon, and stars that God created, the grass that God created. He made the land and sea, and he made people. So she did some drawn narration based off of that. And it doesn't have to be movie time. If I needed to, I could just change Bible time, and this could be her Bible in the morning journaling, which would be nice. And then I wrote some stuff down, and she did a little copy work in here because she wanted to. And this is another what will happen next. So I'm not going to go any further, but that's just her journal. And then Lulu, I got one for her too because, as you saw, she scribbled all over my stuff. She wrote in Olivia's journal, so Lulu needed a journal too, even though she's only 3 years old and like totally not in school yet at all. I wanted her, and they have these beginning do-it-myself journals for like the really little ones, and they're adorable. They're not that expensive, so I don't mind that. Mostly, she's just scribbling in it, but it's still like she's talking about the animals and we're talking about letters when she wants to, that kind of stuff. So again, she's just kind of scribbling through it, drawing her own pictures. I like that there's paper that's like plain paper because she does like to just draw sometimes. Scribbling through the coloring pages. There's like little mazes, and she can circle the number ones if she wants, which she eventually did. That one she was just scribbling. There's like tracing, which she actually did a little tracing of this instead of just scribbling, but she did scribble some. And then you can see when I've actually worked with her, there's big coloring pages. She actually, did work on trying to stay in the lines a little bit on this one. But yeah, these are really, really good beginner journals for like Lulu. I helped her to do the dot to dot, and then she started like kind of doing a little tracing inside. So these are just really, really cute for little ones. Because it's got the ABCs. So sometimes when she sees this page, she automatically starts singing the ABC song, even though she still doesn't identify each and every letter. She does know like L and A and a few of the ones. Lulu's already getting a grasp as to what their name is and their sound is, but it's very, very play based. And I just wanted her to have a cute little journal so that she can be coloring and doing stuff alongside her sisters for when she wants to, so that she's not feeling like, oh, they got this cute journal and I'm just coloring in a coloring book or on plain paper. So I did go ahead and get one for her as well. She may go through this and get a new one for her of this exact same journal for next year when she's a little bit more ready to actually circle the letters and color in these really nicely and do the tracing work and talk about what that is and that C and do the coloring. So this is just a lovely little book that I totally recommend for little ones. And like I said, you don't have to stress about them not using it correctly. For now, Lulu's just scribbling in it, and I'm totally fine with that because she's having a good time and she's still learning things just by default. And it's great. So those are the 3 journals that the girls are using as their main journal, just a way to record what we're doing in school, and then their nature journals. And there's a ton of other journals. She's got like 300 or more journals. And as we get them, I'll do a in-depth review of each one, like 2 or 3 minute long video, just completely talking about the journal, what's in it, like page by page. But this is my journal that I got because, again, with the modeling behavior or creating habits in Charlotte Mason, that if we're doing habits in front of them that we want to see our children do, then they're going to pick them up. So I got myself, like I said, I'm doing this as my nature journal. And I like that it has the calendar in it because we've been talking more about months and days of the week and the years and things like that. I can't find it now. And keeping track of the days, crossing off the days. We didn't start this one in January. I just started in February. So all the January pages are still left blank. But I love to color. I love to just sit in color. Like I said, I put Bible verses in it. And I've just been keeping track of the days and talking to them. Oh, today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, as kind of like our calendar time using my nature journal. And then I just got this one in the mail actually today, and it's the Mom's Fun Schooling Handbook, a coloring journal for homeschooling moms. And it's just beautiful and lovely. It talks about creating baskets, like math basket and different baskets, which I love doing, and I've done it before. This is coloring together pages in here to inspire you to enjoy being a mom and a homemaker, to enjoy being a homeschool mom, to create a fun learning environment, to care for your own needs as a woman who needs to grow in strength, wisdom, faith, understanding, compassion, creativity, and kindness, which so ties hand in hand to Charlotte Mason's views of a mother needing to learn and grow and do things, as we call it, mother culture, where you're investing and pouring into yourself, and it's so important. And then it has a place talking about making a mom time basket, so that you have your Bible, you have books that you're currently reading, journaling things, maybe a candle, some coffee or tea bags, um, just for your quiet time. And so this is my journal for that. And there's also she also has some like Bible journals. Proverbs, a proverb a day is one that comes to mind. Psalms and Proverbs. There's one I'm going to get for all of us to do called Christian Character or something. And it talks about a different character trait. And then it's like a Bible study about each character trait. So we're definitely going to be looking into getting that one to do along with our morning time, our morning meeting for AMCM. But basically, I'm going to choose books that I'm currently reading that I want to put in my basket. Talks about making baskets for your kids, listening time, timeline kit, space kit, like themed baskets is lots of fun. Think of things that you would like to inspire a child to learn about. And then how people learn, the 5 keys: spark, quest, discovery, sharing, and creativity. And it explains that on each of these pages. There's like note-taking area, reading pages just like your kids have, so that you can draw things or draw and take notes of quotes or things that stick out of the books that you're currently reading. You could also use it like a Bible study page, but then there are some like plain journaling pages, which is so nice to write on like your own journal work, which I love to journal, and I haven't diary type journaled in forever, so I'm excited to start doing that. But then you could also use this to like write a recipe on something that you're excited about, cooking or making for your family, or maybe even like a meal plan or shopping list, or whatever you want to do as a mom, things that you need to keep track of. And then this is what's on your mind. Draw or write about things that have been on your mind lately. Writing down your thoughts can help you clear your mind and focus on your true priorities. So you could do that, or you could write quotes that are inspiring, maybe a Bible verse that you're trying to memorize. They're just beautiful. They're so open-ended. You can do whatever you want with them. And that's just kind of how the journals are in general, whether it be a core journal for your kid, or a nature journal, or a Bible journal, or they have like subject specific journals, which I don't have any of yet. But there's like math journals with just, it's all math, like addition, subtraction, things like that in it. I mean, I am going to get a few of those soon for the girls, the plain math journals. And so I'll show you guys those when I get them. Things that you want your child to learn, things to plan and organize, goals for the week, coloring pages, because again, I'm obsessed. And then color together pages. These are so cute. Like she drew the illustrations from the Goodnight Moon story, which has totally been one of my kids' favorite stories and my favorite bedtime stories to read to my kids for years now. That's probably one of the first stories I read to Olivia, and she's about to be 7, so we've read that one and read that one and read that one. But it's colored together, so mom and the kids can color, one of your kids can color the other side. So that's just really cute, and there's several of those pages. And then learning a new skill. Currently, I'm working on learning piano playing. I want to learn how to can food. I know that. I want to learn, oh, there you go, knitting. I want to learn to knit and crochet and sew better. I also would like to know more homesteading type stuff, gardening and canning, and making my own soaps and things. Like there's a lot of things. So I'm going to definitely be using the skill building pages quite a lot, I'm sure, as I research. And it talks about, I'm learning how to do whatever you're learning how to do. Notes. You could write down like links to YouTube channels, or YouTube videos, or whatever books that you want to check out from the library about learning that skill, like that kind of stuff. And then there's another little illustration, more reading time, more journaling pages, and it just kind of goes from there. Cute little stuff throughout. So I know I'm going to absolutely love. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even see that page. Mom's word study, patience. What is patience? Clue, look in the Bible. So that's pretty neat. I guess there's like word studies on like character traits for moms in these books as well. And look how cute these little borders are to color. So yeah, I just had to tell you all about these journals and also let you guys know that we are completely happy with our Charlotte Mason, a modern Charlotte curriculum. We're loving it. I love all the books that come with it. Just a sampling of is going to be and not going to show up. I just want to show you the in a modern Charlotte Mason sampling of some of the books that we get to read and use as our curriculum. Like I love a modern Charlotte Mason for the book choices. There's some classic books, like older ones like Winnie the Pooh. You know, every little kid should hear this story in their life read aloud to them, I feel. And then there's some newer books, and that's what I like about a modern Charlotte Mason. It takes your classical choices of books that you would typically adds in newer books that are current, that are still a little rich and still memorable. But let me just show you some of the books. Winnie the Pooh, When Washington Crossed the Delaware. Like the richness of this curriculum because of the book choices is like immensely wonderful and totally why I chose this curriculum, a modern Charlotte Mason. Electric Ben. Some of these books I never would have even known about to offer or to show my children had it not been for Miss Susan and her amazing curriculum and the choices. This book is amazing. It's called Walking with God in America. If you're a Christian family like we are, you're going to love it. It's the heart of God, the heart of America in word and image. And so it's like a geography study where you're kind of using it with our geography with our Charlotte Mason, but each page is a photograph picture from somewhere in the United States. Like this beautiful picture is in Colorado. There we go. So it'll tell you under the picture the city and the state that it's in. And then it has like a Bible verse to go along with it. And there's like a map in the front. And so we've been using it with our study of the United States with Olivia this year. This is in Delaware, where we're actually from. Has a little introduction. Alabama. Another Alabama. Alaska. But just look at those beautiful, beautiful photos. So this book I recommend any person doing a Christian-based homeschool to check into getting because it's like beautiful. You can use it, you know, in Charlotte Mason, art and picture study is such a big part of it. And it's just nice to see like a little glimpse into the different states as you're learning about the states. Look at that. Oh, that is lovely. And that one is in Montana. It's like a waterfall in the mountains. So yeah, that book, I'm so in love. That was a book until I got this curriculum. And then here's a few from our tea time that were recommended. Tales from Shakespeare for tea time. We have Hallelujah Handle about the composer. We're going to be reading The Secret Garden. We haven't started it yet. I thought that would be a fun one to read with the girls. And it came with a necklace. It's adorable. I thought that would be a fun one to read with the girls, like outside reading. It's really pretty. Richness in these books, like so much beauty, and that's something I love about a Charlotte Mason education and a modern Charlotte Mason specifically. And then the journals that like go so perfectly with the journals to have these rich, beautiful, amazing books that we can journal about. So, and do our, you know, picture narration and written narration stuff. This is Child's Garden of Verses, Children's Book of Virtue. This book was not suggested, but I think this book is adorable. It's the Mother Goose stories, and this book's old and falling apart, but It's like the Mother Goose stories, but from a Christian perspective. Some of the words have been changed. This book is lovely. So that's just what I wanted to kind of go over, is that, oh, Jeannie's getting grumpy again. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very long, but I just wanted to give you guys a really good glimpse into how we're using the journals for thinking tree journals, and how beautifully they combine with our a modern Charlotte Mason curriculum. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys would like to kind of chat with me, you can totally do that. You can leave comments, so you can ask questions. Any way you can get a hold of me, and I put my blog and all my things down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you like learning about homeschooling, you want to see day in our crazy life here at Adventure Schooling, and if you want to see maybe some unboxing, I do unboxing videos very frequently of new like read alouds that I get, or just books in general. I am an Usborne consultant, and it works wrap girl, so I do post about those things. I do post Usborne video haul. I'm gonna start doing grocery shopping hauls. I haven't really done that yet, and also like meal planning. I do want to start doing some day in the life of homeschool videos. I don't know, we just talk about anything ranging from motherhood, homeschool, to just life in general. So I hope you guys would consider subscribing, and I hope you did enjoy this video. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Thanks, guys. Bye.